Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So, on the docket for today, cruising into your long weekend, we have quite a few mini updates, if you will, to some credit cards, tweaks, if you will. We've got the Delta Airlines potentially expanding a credit. We have Crypto.com expanding what you can earn. Unfortunately, the Kroger Card is MIA, and if all this doesn't appeal to you, you might want to open bank accounts. Well, we do have an executive order with an update on that if you'd have to require citizenship to open an account or not. Spoiler alert, no. We'll close with that. So, if any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. So we will lead off with our credit card updates. Started with Navy Federal Credit Union. They've actually updated some of their program reward redemptions, which is nice for those of you out there who have the card, and I know some of you do. So simply put, Navy Fed minimum redemption for statement credit is now $5. Of course, you can redeem to your NFCU account with no minimum. Previously, this was $50, so they're bringing it down quite a bit. Points now pool across cards if you have multiples with them, and you have the ability to pay with points at Walmart and Shell starting this summer. We found that on our credit cards. Probably don't want to do I guess it doesn't really matter. I probably wouldn't do the Walmart and Shell deal. Personally, again, I think there should be no minimum to redeem, but I actually, in the opinion, I don't know why you can redeem for no minimum to a statement credit, but to go into your account, it's $5 minimum. But either way, those are slight improvements. Pooling points, always nice. Nice to see someone making it easier, considering we've talked at length about folks making redemptions harder, being chased, restricting sending points to external accounts. And Citi, sometime way done with just cards auto-linking to swap thank you points. You can still do it, but you got to phone in. So good for them. But if points isn't your game and you like, some of that crypto coins we're always talking about, at least this one being Bitcoin is actually a real coin. I've never understood why we have 38,000 coins, but we're talking about the Crypto.com card. So you've got it on screen. They do have a wide range of colors, but the thing you want to know is that last row, that second to last row. Its spending rewards is now in Bitcoin or CRO. I think CRO was their coin. So now you can earn Bitcoin. I believe if you're an existing customer, you can go in there and change your earnings somewhere in your settings. I don't know a ton about this. I've never had the card before, but that is a nice touch if you want to expand out. Now, again, you're still going to have to stake quite a bit of money with these cards. You can see the level up program tier access fee. So I don't really know if this is worth it, but all the same, it is a nice touch. You're going to stake so much with them and only earn their coin. Seemed like a bit much. So this is a nice change, perhaps because we've seen additional credit cards come onto the market that let you earn crypto. I think they had to kind of fold. And again, considering at the top end, they're having you stake like, $500,000 or 50,000 in CRO. Seems like a reasonable adjustment, if you will. Now, on to someone who's not exactly known for being reasonable, but they might be with this next partnership, is American Express. Now, American Express has a new partnership with Fanatics. We'll put the screenshot of the memo on screen for you. And now, before you get too excited, this is not going to be an American Express issued credit card. American Express is the payment network. So again, as you see, we can go through. I don't think we really need to read all of it. You know how much I love press releases. We'll just take the top part. Landmark strategic partnership will power sports fandom with rewards, exclusive perks, Fanatics American Express card, and new ways for millions of card members to connect with their favorite leagues, teams, and experiences. How exciting. What do you get? Well, if you go farther down into the press release here, Fanatics American Express card, Fanatics will launch a new credit card on the Amex network built to reward fans, of course. Earn fan cash, so that's going to be the points. Again, this is not Amex issued, so you're not talking about membership reward points. For Fanatics cardholders will earn fan cash, Fanatics digital reward currency, which can be redeemed for authentic apparel, tickets, trading cards, collectibles, and other experiences across the Fanatics platform. Fan first benefits, and of course they're putting the American Express network in there as a benefit as well. So there you go. No, nothing yet on the cards, but again, or like when they're going to come out. I think they just kind of gave a time frame, but there you have it. So I think these are more so interesting than anything else to see American Express slowly start to expand out, offering their payment network to folks, especially considering we still have that I forget what you call it, but the credit card act of sorts, where they were it was going against the payment networks, where it was at least discussed that you might have to use 2 payment networks per card. So it'd be a Visa, MasterCard, or a Visa, American Express. Now, American Express was exempt from this because their core business is being a payment network. It was really targeted at Visa and MasterCard, which would really be targeted at the banks who use Visa and MasterCard as their providers. So I do wonder if this is them. One, it's another revenue stream. You might as well do it, especially how many cards are you going to issue at this point, especially when you keep pop-up jailing everybody. But to that, this could be an expansion for that and gets them ready should it happen, much like we believe Capital One purchased Discover and is moving over their cards to the Discover network. So there you go. The one thing about this story that will annoy me, if you haven't seen it already, someone, I guarantee you, will make a headline saying new American Express card, which is technically true, but I just hate when people do that. It's like the Rakuten card is not an American Express card, but it is on the Amex payment network. We don't say the whole thing. Like Visa usually puts their name in it, but we generally don't say the whole thing. The pimp name Slickback, right? We just say the card name, but on a tangent now. So speaking of American Express and partnerships, this next one is about the Delta card. So this comes from a tweet from John NYC, who I've personally never seen before, but from what I've read on the Doctor and other sites, is fairly reliable. So, take it for what you will. And this one sees the Delta Amex Basic Card members will get a second check bag free on domestic travel. So he's even got kind of like the mock-up of it. Effective June 4th, American Express will introduce a new second bag free benefit for eligible Delta SkyMiles American Express card members. The eligible part's always annoying. It just lists the cards. I would imagine it's all of them. This benefit applies to basic card members. Only additional card members are not eligible. I think they mean not authorized users. Again, it's just easier ways to say this stuff is what always bothers me. It allows one additional check bag at no charge on Delta and Delta Connection operated flights, on and on and on. Cool. That wouldn't surprise me at all. About a month or so ago, we saw baggage fees go up quite a bit, especially it's not like it doesn't scale evenly. Like the second and the third one are like significantly more expensive than your first. And I think there's like, hey, in typical fashion, it's like, well, we're going to make a problem, but don't you worry, we have a solution. And in my book, you're not a hero if you put out a fire that you started. I imagine the math is pretty simple. It'd be easier to sell more credit cards than it would be to make back money on check bag fees. All the same, it's not a bad perk by any means, because there doesn't seem to be any price hike or anything like that related to this. I simply think it's a way to sell more credit cards, which is what they're here to do. It would just have meant more if you hadn't hiked the baggage fees and a month later say, wait a minute, I got you covered if you get this thing. So my opinion, overall, not too bad. Now, moving on to American Express's arch rival being Chase. I think maybe they're still rivals, even though I think they've both been surpassed by Wells Fargo and Citi. Either way, the old Sapphire Reserve card. So booking through the portal, some card holders have been reporting on Reddit seeing a price match option in there in the portal where you can submit a claim within 24 hours. So if you book something and then you find a cheaper price, you can grab a screenshot of it, make sure it's legit, and you can submit it to them and they should adjust your price accordingly. Specifically, claims must be submitted within 24 hours of the booking, is from my understanding of it. Same property, dates, room. Oh, it's for hotels. I should have said that. I believe it's for hotels. But same property, dates, room type, bed type, number of guests, currency, cancellation policy, and refund rules. So they're going to check all those things. Claim must include a screenshot of price, website, domain where seen, and the nightly difference must be $5 or more. That seems somewhat reasonable. So there you go for hotels. It's not a long time, not a lot of runway to submit that claim, just 24 hours from when you book, from what I understand. It'd be nice to see that extended for some time. Maybe like 2 weeks. I would say, like, what does Best Buy do? Back in the day, if you bought something from Best Buy, they would price match it for some time. It's not the same. I wanted to say, I should have just looked this up. Didn't Capital One used to have like price protection on their card? Like if you booked it through their portal using the Venture X and they would take care of it for a good while, I want to say. 24 hours, is a start to be sure, but I would like to see that expanded a little bit more. Obviously, you have to draw the line somewhere, but 24 hours, I mean, it'll help somebody to be sure. But either way, I believe it's already on the Sapphire business as well. I don't know if it's going to expand. I imagine it's going to expand out to everybody. I just haven't seen everyone report that they have it yet. But how many people are really on Reddit talking about this? So anyhow, if you don't like any of those travel cards and you like cashback cards and you've already gotten this card, well, you might now be in rarefied air. The U.S. Bank Kroger Credit Card does not seem to be available for application anymore. Now, we're a little bit late on this one. I think it's about 2 weeks ago that this was noticed. Now, the Kroger card, it's funny. There's a few different versions of them. They were issued by U.S. Bank. And you wouldn't really get it because it's a Kroger credit card. You get it because the 5% back on mobile wallets up to, I want to say it was like $2,500 a quarter or something. I can't quite remember how it worked. I never had the card. It was on my list of cards to get. Not the top tier card to get for sure. That's why I hadn't got around to it yet. But it was obviously a very good way to get a catch-all card for most things. Many places take mobile wallet now. It's funny because I'll put that card on the same tier as I would the AAA cards. A card that really has no business being that good. It's a free product. While it's co-branded, yes, almost no one gets it for its, here at least, gets it for its co-branded partner name. AAA you get for groceries or gas, whichever one you want. This one you get for 5% mobile wallets. You don't get it for Kroger. And again, they had a few of them, so folks try to get multiples of them. So I believe that deal with Kroger and U.S. Bank ran for 5 years, and it was set to end. Likely because these cards just aren't that popular. It really didn't get talked about too much. It kind of just snuck up on us. So no word yet on what's going to happen to that partnership or move the existing portfolio. I gotta imagine Kroger will want someone to pick it up. I mean, it's still a decently large chain, and they still had other stores underneath it. The big concerning part is, will they keep the 5% mobile wallets? Why everyone likes the card. Again, vastly underrated card. MIA for now. Hopefully we'll see it pop up somewhere else. Again, I guess it's still possible U.S. Bank does renew the deal, but it sounds like they would have preemptively done that. So I would imagine this card is on to a new home. Now, we've had a good run of credit card stories, but if these credit card stories aren't for you, or they just, you're like, hey, I'm going to go try bank promotions, well, we have you covered as well with the whole second channel and website, of course. But more importantly, we have been following this story from the White House when Trump's administration had been talking about making it a requirement of banks to vet your citizenship to open up an account. It would have applied to new applications, of course, but there was also talk of doing it retroactively, and somehow these banks were supposed to go back and get citizenship documentation. A passport's probably the easiest thing. I guess you could show a birth certificate or something like that. Well, that is no more. Well, they did an executive order. We have that. I'll put it on screen for. We're not going to read the whole thing. Restoring integrity to America's financial systems executive order. So again, we're not going to go through the whole deal here, but you can see under safeguard against fraud and abuse. I'm just going to read like the initial part. So evidentiary patterns of payroll tax evasion. This is stuff they're supposed to look for. Within 60 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of the Treasury shall issue a formal advisory to financial institutions regarding the risks associated with the exploitation of the United States financial system by non-work authorized populations and their employers. I wonder who wrote this for him, because this is not at all how he talks. This advisory shall describe specific red flags and typologies associated within the following categories. I really wish they just let him write this. It'd be great. It'd probably be in crayon, but it would still be significantly more funny. So there you go. Not too bad. The main thing is they're not going to require the citizenship, which makes things easier. I mean, again, if you open a lot of bank accounts, I've always said it's not that big of a deal. It's just one more document to submit, so long as they have a proper way to submit it. Some of these places are a little bit loose and just want you to trust that they're using secured email. The banks have probably struggled mightily going back and retroactively doing this. That would have been very problematic, I can imagine. On one hand, I think the banks already check for a lot of this stuff. I mean, we've seen people get shut down over multiple Zelle or Venmo payments or things of that nature that the bank just deems too risky. They obviously check social security number when you submit. That we care about checks, obviously, your checks report, but you submit an application, it does run through like the OFAC list, which it's funny because I was working with someone in fraud, and I was sketching them out this process flow. And basically it's a bunch of checks that says like, it distills down to, are you a terrorist? Yes or no. And I actually wrote that in the little decision symbol on the process flow. They're like, hey, it's funny, but maybe we don't say, are you a terrorist on the official company documentation. I was like, well, that's a fair point. So I believe we check for a lot of this stuff anyways. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't spent a ton of time in fraud or bank secrecy, but whatever. I mean, it's fine, mostly unchanged. We don't have to submit any more documentation, so that is a win. So there you go. Go ahead and keep on churning. So anyways, that has been the news for this week. So of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week and right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com, which is of course the channel's blog. Link down below for it, and on the channel homepage where we post the latest news stories, bank promotions just like this, and some credit card offers on occasion. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.